Welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club.
Hey!
I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to the to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today. But it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. That was why there was a question mark there. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me.
Oh, God. I overslept again. But I caught you this time.
Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you.
You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, You know what I'm saying? That's mean, Einar.
Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something.
Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to.
Whatever you say, Sayori.
I
You watch enough anime to know how these characters speak. It's kind of crazy. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute.
By the way, Einar, have you decided on a club yet? To join yet?
A club? Oh, I told you already. I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either.
That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year.
Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did. One of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. This guy.
Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a neat in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you.
All right. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though.
Will you at least promise me you'll try a little?
Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that.
Yay!
Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club.
Hello?
Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom.
I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm surprised.
Impressed.
Impressed.
Impressed? No, not really. No. You don't need, you don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club.
Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought
Know what?
well, that you could come to my club?
Sayori. No.
Yeah?
There is no way I'm going to your club.
Mimi?
Sayori is a vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah. Hold on. I choked. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club.
Come on, please.
Why do you care so much anyway?
Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring a new member. And
Natsuki.
and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Eh.
Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay?
Yes, let's go.
Yes, let's go. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door.
Everyone, the new member is here.
I told you, I don't... shoot. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room.
Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere.
Ah, I know. Ah, Einar! What a nice surprise! You're dealing with it. I can't do anything different. Welcome to the club! All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls.
What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it.
Sorry. No, that's yours.
Natsuki.
The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori.
You can just ignore her when she gets moody.
Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Yuri, smartest in the club. Don't say things like that.
Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. I turned into like Jim Carrey there. Alrighty then. It's nice to meet both of you.
And it sounds like you already know Monica. Already know Monica. Is that right?
That's right. He says, I feel like fucking Krillin. It's great to see you again, Einar. Oh, she's the ugly one now. Monica smiles sweetly. We don't know each other well. We rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica.
Come sit down, Einar. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes.
Oh yeah, I have to make a decision. Oh.
Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well?
The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand.
Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Woo!
It's whoa!
I know that.
Woo!
Whoa!
My wife just did her first ooh-woo. Natsuki lifts the foil up the tray to reveal a dozen white ooh-woo fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing. Icing. With icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears.
So cute!
I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki.
Well, just hurry and take one.
Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow.
It's delicious.
Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around with my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki.
What? Why are you thinking? It's not like I
Haven't I heard this somewhere before?
made them for you or anything.
I thought you technically did, Sayori said.
Well, maybe, but not for you. No, you, dummy.
All right. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. That was kind of weird logic. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom?
Don't worry, the teachers give us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you.
Hey, that's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I meant that,
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I at least enjoy tea.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget. I don't know what happened there, and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream.
Monica really is a great leader.
Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. The voice is grabbing my throat. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone?
Yeah. Well, we'll do our best. You know it.
Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature.
So, Einar, what kind of things do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy world. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people.
But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep
Psychological
elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop?
What?
Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
Yes! Ah! I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock! Really? Okay. I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you?
I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down.
Ooh, surreal horror. That's awesome.
Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well,
Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second.
Never mind.
That's right! You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki?
What? What gives you that idea?
You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called...
Don't say it out loud. Give me that back.
Fine.
Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are.
Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders.
I'm not cute.
Natsuki, you write your own poems?
Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No.
Natsuki averts her eyes.
You wouldn't like them.
Not a very competent writer yet?
I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and show even the deepest riches of your heart.
Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Wow, her voice is awful. Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example to help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri.
Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems.
We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay! I have an idea for everyone! Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even.
Yeah, let's do it.
Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. I don't know why I kept reading at that point, but I just couldn't stop reading because her voice was taking control of my larynx.
Go.
Isn't that right, Einar? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on. There's still one problem. What's that? Now we're back to the original topic of me joining the club. I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made my decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But...
I'm sorry, I thought... Einar?
You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes lighten up.
Yes, I'm so happy.
Eee! I did the rest of it for you. Siri wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey!
You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I'd be super pissed.
Then that makes it official. Oh, God. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once. Einar! Einar, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class... Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food.
Hey, Einar, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together?
That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well.
Yay!
With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back to the back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica! Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. All right. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most.
Fantasy?
Want to do fantasy?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking fireflies, but I'll go with fantasy. Chocolate!
Fluffy.
Awesome!
Frightening out of all of them.
Philosophy.
Vibrant.
Heartbeat.
Romance.
Romance. Crimson.
Nature.
Oh, death.
Infinite.
Let's do some vanilla.
Electricity. Adventure.
Graveyard.
Sensation.
Poof. Hi again, Einar! Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha ha ha! Ugh. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. But I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out.
Thanks for keeping your promise, Einar. I hope it isn't too overwhelming of a commute for you.
Commitment.
Commitment for you.
How did you get commute?
I don't know. Making you drive headfirst. Dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what.
Wow, Natsuki really doesn't like us.
But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it.
Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Mangaka. Mangeku.
Manga
You did
literature.
too.
Manga is literature.
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat.
Don't worry, guys. Einar always gives it his best as long as he's having fun.
Ah, is that so? It sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I understand. Maybe I underestimated you.
Hey, wait. What's that supposed to mean?
Ooh, Natsuki gives me a little shove. Yeah. I just meant that I haven't yet seen you at your full power.
Good save.
This chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but is there a lot of baking in this manga?
Well,
Natsuki pauses for a moment as if she doesn't want to admit something.
yeah. Why does that matter?
It doesn't, I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right?
That's just a coincidence. I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got this manga. Like I would never get into anything because it's in a manga. I feel bad for anyone that
Impressionable.
impressionable.
Yeah, definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, of all the hobbies to pick up from a manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention, she's really good at it. So who am I to judge? We read on for a few more minutes. I finished a couple chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring for you?
It's not.
Even though you're just watching me read?
Well, I'm fine with that.
If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? Hmm?
Um,
You don't?
um, that's not. Well, I wouldn't really know.
What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends?
Could you not rub it in? Jeez.
Ah, sorry.
I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, "Eh, you still haven't grown out of that
Yet.
yet." Makes me want to punch them in the face.
Ugh, I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated toward the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you.
Hmm? Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Wait, which part?
I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica was kind of a jerk about it. Look, I just can't win, can I?
Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am, reading it.
Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems.
Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right?
So, geez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what?
Yeah. I flip the page. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing.
I totally forgot that happens.
Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels.
Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bit bad for her since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when... Uh, I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish this chapter.
Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience, the thought makes me smile a little to myself. Okay, everyone! Hold on! I got phlegm in my throat! Okay, everyone! Eh? Are you all ready with today's poems? Oh my god, we gotta see what we wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse?
Sorry! I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there. Uh-huh.
Uh,
I can't. It's hurting me.
uh-huh.
Ah! Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. All right. Guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki.
You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens?
Ah, yeah, but... Monica just said...
Don't be dumb. Just take it home with you.
Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I really didn't plan on using my spare time to read this.
Well, of course. It would take forever to finish if you don't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you.
By tomorrow? I only got part way through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this. But I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic faces. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? All right then. I stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and I carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I'd never really done this before. Well, now that... Oh. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with?
I can't wait.
Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet of a loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Let's do Natsuki. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first.
Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all,
Natsuki rereads my poem.
never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion.
Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said.
Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, haha, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature is like. And you went and ruined it.
Apparently it was really good.
I hope you're happy.
So, in other words, you're saying you liked it? Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat.
You're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that you don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never
Nope. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right?
Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't.
Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly. People can try, but that's about it.
I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all
sophisticated
and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously.
But it isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the word. Like I set up for a rhythm at the end. Rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I really don't care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her.
good poem, Einar. Are you sure it's your first time?
She said willingly. Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time?
I guess you're right. But that's why that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Einar. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know. Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you.
All right. I'm going to hold you to that then.
Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue, it's secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this?
No, just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah, especially that last line.
I made eggs and toast.
even though you were late to school?
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get a little cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun. Monica's the best.
Yeah.
But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I look forward to it. Because... Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading.
Oh. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking.
It's fine. Don't force yourself.
I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay? This is your first time writing a poem, right?
Oh, no. Yeah. Why do you ask?
I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it.
So it's that bad?
No! Did I just raise my voice?
I'm so sorry.
Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying?
Right. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style
Separate
from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the
Expressiveness
is weakened.
Close enough. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you vulnerable feedback. Valuable feedback.
Vulnerable?
Natsuki can be a little bit
Biased.
though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I should be talking about people like... I shouldn't be talking about... Sorry.
I shouldn't be talking about people like that.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself or to me or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Oh god, I think I should have made Yuri last. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light, the tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back.
I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
That's a relief.
Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's your first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to
digest,
I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Einar.
Really? I must have totally missed that point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem could stay.
Yeah, her philosophy is making me tired too.
In this case, perhaps the only subject of the poem is only being
symbolically
compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining piece of comfort, place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on those things, too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you. Have fun.
Hi, Einar! Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? All right, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ah! Don't worry, Einar. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I couldn't get out of it. I had Monica my poem. I got stuck. I like it, Einar. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So, take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. There are lots of poems or stories out there that are no more than a few simple words. They can be funny, endearing, or even sad, and sometimes they're only a few lines long. I'm like zoning out while I'm reading this. Like somehow I'm reading this without seeing the words anymore. I'm becoming Monica. No! They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert. You probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased by their own styles, but I always hope you find what suits you most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing him or anything. Ah! Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who... I'm getting dizzy doing her voice. Oh my god. I'm losing my mind. I can't, I'm getting dizzy. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's because I have... I'm going to pass out. Well, that's because I sound confident. That doesn't mean I'm always feel the way, you know. I see. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. The hole in wall. Oh, dude, I'm so dizzy right now. I'm like gonna pass out. I'm
I
gonna.
don't think this one you cannot do long videos on. You could tell.
I couldn't. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A nosy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. Oh man, I'm gonna pass out. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel. Blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas! Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole in infinite choices. Realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So what do you think? Oh god, I'm gonna pass out. It's very freeform if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. Oh, Jesus. Aha, that's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. Her voice is going to get really weird from this point on, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm going to pass out. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you write a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make it any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Phew! I guess that's everyone. Glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes landed on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
She can't read it.
Oh, thanks. Yours Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Uh, you mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Um, well, I do have a couple of suggestions. Hmm. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Suri liked it, and Einar did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me? I approached the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I didn't expect it to change anytime soon, unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet.
Mm.
And Einar liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it.
Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yori. Uh, that's not what I. Uh, you're just.
Yuri stands up as well.
Maybe you're just jealous that Einar appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Um, um, is everyone okay? Well, you know what? Boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Einar started showing up. Natsuki!
Natsuki, that's a little...
This isn't involved.
This
This
doesn't
doesn't
involve
involve you. I don't like fighting, guys.
Suddenly both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there.
Einar! She's just trying to make me feel bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate the simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poem all
Convoluted.
for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Einar. Wait! There's no reason we have so many deep and expressive words and
Language.
It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessary. Limiting yourself is also a waste. You understand? Well?
How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's going to be... Help me, Sayori! Natsuki? Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri? But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori?
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this?
Einar? Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Yuri wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being, she would never. It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so much feelings in just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented.
All right, guys. See you in the next one.